kind of an odd topic for me, but it occurred to me today as I was at the kitchen sink that when I was a kid, I didn't understand how those water drains work. Like, more clearly to me as a kid, it was toilets that were confusing. And then the first thought I had along these lines was, why doesn't the water level go up while I'm peeing in it? So, like, I would find something, a blemish, a little mark of some kind, or even just try and stare at a point and pee, and sure, the water would jostle, but the level of the water wouldn't go up. And when I was done peeing and the water calmed down, the level was at exactly the same spot it was before. And it confused the heck out of me as a kid. Couldn't figure out how it worked. And it wasn't until I was an adult that I had any introduction to a water valve. Which is essentially just an S shape on its side. So that when you have a drain with water that pours down, there's an S half that's downward, and then an S half that goes up and over before the pipe continues to go down. And all that means is that some amount of water is trapped in the bottom of that S shape, the downward side. And when you pour water down, it fills up on the other side until it pours over that other curve and down the drain, but doesn't knock all the water out. It just forces the same amount that goes in on one side to come out the other side. So there's always this same amount of water or liquid in that bottom part, the water valve. And it took me forever to understand that. And so now when I'm at a sink or a toilet, I think about that. That the reason the water level or the liquid level doesn't go up when you pee in the toilet is because the extra pee you're putting in there is just forcing liquid out the other side in the exact same amount, and so the water level stays the same. And it's true of sinks too, and why I think that's relevant to think about is that when you put something down the sink that's not just water, like if you're scraping stuff off the plates or out of the bowls, little chunks of meat, noodles, bits of cheese, whatever, that stuff is going into that little water valve spot. And it doesn't necessarily go right out the other side. It may collect in there unless you can get water pouring through at a reasonable rate, sort of like flushing a toilet. So in the kitchen sink, when I'm doing dishes, one of the things I'll do is save a pot or something big till the end, and fill that up, get the water running, and then just pour it perfectly down the drain so that the water is going through as fast as possible to try and get motion out of that water valve and try and get any larger chunks out of that little space. So that means no rotting food in there, no weird smells left over, and hopefully relatively clean pipe that has as much space as possible, so like no plaque or cholesterol collecting on the inside of the artery there. So yeah, I think about weird things when I'm doing dishes, I guess. And the last thing I'll add to this video is I always put sharp utensils, like, well, steak knives, point down in the utensil bucket, but all of the other ones with the active end up, so that the water doesn't get blocked by the cage in the bottom and it can all get to where it needs to clean well. And in those little segments of the utensil bin, I try to avoid putting two of the same utensil in there, because I don't want them to spoon and end up blocking a surface from getting detergent and water. So fork, knife, little spoon, big spoon, good combination. But 4 big spoons, bad combination. So I always spread them out as best I can, so that the utensils get the best clean they can get. And the only reason I put the sharp utensils like the steak knives point down is so that if somebody reaching in to empty the dishwasher isn't aware of the fact that there are steak knives present, that they won't accidentally cut themselves on those steak knives. Alright, so anyway, my weird combination of thoughts. Thanks for listening.